Hey guys, good morning and happy Sunday. I'm glad that you are here watching this video. Once again, this is Teacher Noy and welcome to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to show on how to propagate the Dieffenbachia or dumb cane, the variegated elephant ear. And I will be sharing also the care tips, the do's and don'ts in order to maintain the variegation on the leaves of this variegated elephant ear. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon for more updates. But before that, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers who subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you for always watching my videos that I have uploaded. I'm hoping that someday, time will come that I will be one of the popular vloggers here in Mindanao, especially in our municipality of Baganga. Popular, just like this plant that I am referring to you. For my personal experience in growing some of my variegated plants, I know that variegated plants are really sensitive yet unique. But some planters really struggle in taking care or maintaining the variegation on the leaves of the variegated plants. Knowing that variegated plants require enough sunlight, balanced atmosphere, good location, just like a forest setting of environment, and extra care for every day. This variegated elephant ear became popular and trending on social media like Facebook and YouTube. I have seen and read about the post of the sellers on Facebook that this Dieffenbachia, just this month of April, it is being trending that there are buyers coming from Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, or even in Portugal and some Asian countries and Western countries really eyeing for this variegated Dieffenbachia or dumb cane. And it is being sold amounting of 1 million, imagine, and the last price is 200,000. That is why I was shocked and mesmerized when I saw the price of the seller who sold the Dieffenbachia on Facebook. That is why I told myself that I have to propagate my Dieffenbachia because I have a lot of variegated elephant ear in my garden. If they become rich instantly, why should I? Maybe this is really a perfect timing for me to become popular. For me, Philippines is one of the countries that has a lot of file or more propagation about this plant, or the one who studied about the variegation of the leaves of this elephant ear is really a Filipino agriculturist. So no wonder we have a lot of variegated Dieffenbachia. But there is a green elephant ear also here in our country and in some other countries as well. But not all countries have the same plants. One reason we are not the same about the climate and even the place. We are very lucky and blessed here in our country, the Philippines, that we have a tropical climate. That is why tropical plants are really good in our country. Now I'm going to share with you a very short description why this is being named as Dieffenbachia or dumb cane, or we call that elephant ear. Dieffenbachia or dumb cane or elephant ear is just the same. It's up to you what term you are going to use in naming this variegated elephant ear. Dieffenbachia or variegated elephant ear is a native plant known in Latin America and became popular as an ornamental plant in homes. There have been cases of accidental ingestion of the stem, leaves, or even the resin of the stem due to its resemblance to the sugar cane known as tubo here in the Philippines. This is one of the poisonous Dieffenbachia. That is why we need to orient our family members, relatives, or even our friends who are visiting with us, because this plant is not edible. This is only used for ornamental plant in home. That is why it is really need for you to stay away this plant to your children. So this time, I am going to start propagating my Dieffenbachia elephant ear. And while I am cutting, I will also share to you my care and tips why I have maintained the variegation on the leaves, and also on how to make the leaves bigger like this. Before we will do the repotting or transplanting the plant, we need to clean first the soil by removing all the weeds and other trash that can be found on top. Then after that one, I usually remove the soil and plant, and I will clean also the roots by removing all the soil in order to study the roots and the stem where to start the cut. For stem cutting of the Dieffenbachia, as we all know that Dieffenbachia can produce new shoot or new baby even without roots being attached to the top cut, but it takes a very long time to develop the shoot if there is no root or roots. So preferably, whenever I do cutting of Dieffenbachia, I always included the roots for the fast recovery. Then, to worry less about the growing of the top cut. This second pot of my variegated elephant ear is not yet ready for the propagation, because I always make sure that the stem is stable and there are roots can be seen or visible on the top of the soil. So that is the time that the plant is already ready for the propagation. For the lashing of the plants and even maintaining of the bigger leaves, one thing that you should do is provide a bigger pot of your Dieffenbachia elephant ear. And for the watering, effective tip that I can give to you, or the technique, is you use the rice water or the fish water, the water that you used in washing the fish or cleaning the fish and the rice. That is very effective. And for maintaining the heavy variegation or the variegation of your elephant ear, you have to consider these 3 care and tips that I use or applied in growing this variegated elephant ear. Number 1, I encourage you to expose your variegated elephant ear to indirect sunlight, preferably 50% of sunlight your plant can receive, because variegated plants really love balanced atmosphere, balanced humidity, and everything is equal to its growing period. If you fail to do the care and tip number 1, if you will not expose it to the sunlight and every day, this is what will happen. One of the leaves will revert or turn into green. You can see a splashing variegation or even full variegation on the leaf or leaves. So I would like to suggest, if the area or location of your garden is exposed directly to the sunlight, you have to procure or provide a net or plant more trees in order to provide a shade to your plants, because variegated plants hate too much exposure to the sunlight. Number 2, if you notice that some of the variegation are noticeably vanishing, or you'll see like this, it's only splashing, that is because of too much sunlight consumption. So I suggest you need to cut the affected leaves just like this one in order to stop sustaining the nutrient to this leaf, and the variegation will focus and the nutrients on the leaf that will unfurl. Lastly, to maintain the variegation of your elephant ear, you have to cut or propagate your variegated elephant ear, because it is always my experience which is effectively to happen, and every time that I am propagating or doing it to my variegated plants, it is really good that cutting is effective to witness or see that plants are really showing or giving you 100% variegation that we are all aspiring or wanted to achieve in our plants. This I can prove to you that cutting of variegated plant is one of the easiest way to achieve the variegation that you wanted to have to your variegated elephant ear or other variegated plants. So this is my first cutting that I can show to you. Look at the variegation of cutting compared to the top cut that I have shown on my video. One leaf is being damaged because of too much rainfall. I also suggest that variegated plants, especially if there is heavy variegation, do not expose it too much to the sunlight, because that color white is really sensitive for too much sunlight and too much water. Now stop worrying about the variegation that you can't achieve or you can't see on the leaves of your variegated plants, because cutting is the only answer for it, just like this Hosibono philodendron. After knowing the care and tips in maintaining the plant or the variegated elephant ear lush, healthy, and have more variegations on the leaf, now it's time to do the propagation.
Kasi pag-iban mo gihapon sila. Glass. Nawada, tabunan damo. Itabunan damo ng isa. ni poison.